Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It's Charles. What the hell did you just get? You just caught me, man. Oh my god. I was just jiving out to Tsetsa. The biggest turbo folk hero here in Serbia. Just kidding, I wasn't listening to that. So my buddies, they make fun of Tsetsa. I get a lot of friends that like Tsetsa, so I'll just stay out of it. So I like to look at Tsetsa. She's sexy. She's sexy for an older lady. I don't know how old she is. How old is Tsetsa? I don't know, I bet she's what? She's probably my age, man. I don't know, 38? Let me guess, 39, I'd say. I don't know. Anyway, today I've got a food for you. A wonderful meal here that I've got. The Ivanovic family, one of my best friends here in Serbia, lives in Belgrade. His family is so kind to me. His mother's an absolute angel. And they were kind enough to send me home with about 15 pieces of sarma, some slanina, and this gibanica pita stuff. I'm not sure exactly what you would call that. Gibanica is kind of flaky, but anyway. And then I got some of this awesome cheese I bought at the cheese festival. Svrljiski cheese. One of the hardest things on the planet to say. But anyway, I'm going to go through this stuff first of all. First of all, for those of you who are watching, Serbia is an awesome place to eat. And it's an awesome place to go for homemade food. You know, I've made like 25 of these food videos, and this is actually homemade stuff. All of this stuff is homemade. Not this, I'm sorry, this is at a factory, but it was home domestic cheese that they made in a factory. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. I'm an idiot, never mind. I'm hungry, I'm salivating over this, so forgive my ignorance. Anyway, in Serbia, this thing here, this is called Sarma. Sarma is cabbage, this stuff, soured cabbage, that's rolled around rice, meat, and some sauce, and lots of sauce and onion in it, or lots of spices and onion in it. And it's really, really good. A lot of families, they have a big barrel. Even my friends in Belgrade, my buddy Ivan, they have a barrel on their balcony in the middle of Belgrade, and they put cabbage in there with salt for a certain amount of time, and then it will kind of, not rot, but ferment, and then it's the cabbage leaves are good to roll around there. And that barrel's right by his room, so he talks about how smelly that whole thing is all year round, you know. But anyway, this is sarma, and it's really, once they cook it, it takes about 6 hours, she said, about 2 hours to prepare it, and about 6 hours to cook. You want to slow cook it. And the taste of this is amazing. And this is 2 days. It's 2 days old. So the more it sits in its juices and stuff, it's amazing. It's got a real sauerkrauty taste. If you're from the USA, you know what sauerkraut, or German, I guess it's a German word, but we eat it a lot in the USA with like hot dogs and stuff. But inside meat, pork, you can make it with beef. You can also make vegetarian sarma that they'll have like as winter slavas during their fasting season. This thing here is slanina, or bacon. And this is a big chunk, and it's very, very soft. So this is pig meat. So if you're a Muslim, you couldn't eat it, but I'm not a Muslim, so I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to enjoy it. So this is like a big piece of fatty bacon that they cook in here with this. This stuff is phenomenal. It's like butter, man. The texture, you can squish it. Look, squish. You can just squish it, man. Oh my God. One other thing I'm gonna have to show you that they eat in Serbia. God only knows how these people are able to stay fit, but they do this one thing with Serbian, or with pork fat. They boil it, deep fat fry this pig fat, and they eat it, big chunks of it. A lot of places I'll eat that. Like you go to some bars and little kafanas. There's one here in Belgrade, right along the water. You go in there, they give you a bowl full of fried pig fat. And so, you know, it's a heart attack waiting to happen. But these people in villages, they live on this stuff, and they don't look like, you know, a lot of Western people, and they live well into their 80s. You know, this thing here, this is a little like a pita maybe. It's a little chunk. She made this. Son of a buck. But inside it's got meat in it. She got meat in it. In the exterior it's got a bread wrapped around it. And it's really, really tasty. And now my fork is probably dirty. Ugh. But things like this is very, very common in Serbia. Serbia, they don't have that many, excuse me for eating with my mouth full, I'm a pig. They don't have that many fast food places like you see in the USA. USA has big, huge chains. Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Wendy's, McDonald's, Subway. You know, they have McDonald's here, but there's only like 3 or 4 different cities in Serbia that have them. Maybe just 3. But, you know, it's not common to go to a fast food place like that, a big brand name one. A lot of people go to a little pljeskavica, a little mom and pop shop and get a pljeskavica, chicken, whatever they want. But the most common thing they eat in Serbia is these. And this is at a bakery, a pekara here. You can get all sorts of different little pastry type things. A lot of meat in them, burek, which is like a flaky thing with meat and cheese in it. This here is more, burek is more of a flaky stuff. Same with gibanica. Gibanica is similar, but it's not as, I don't even know how you describe it because I don't know how it's cooked, but I don't think it's as fried. I think gibanica is baked and burek is kind of fried maybe. And this is kind of a soft bread with spicy meat in it. Very good. Something about Serbia that's really, really good. They have lots of cheeses. Most cheeses we find in the USA are yellow. We have a lot of cheddar cheese, a lot of American cheese, stuff that melts easy. I was just talking to my friend yesterday about cheeses in Serbia. A lot of these cheeses don't melt very well. This one here is it's from Svrljiig, a city with no vowels in it, Svrljiig. It's got an E, it's got an I in it, but that's only one, so it's hard to say. So this cheese is called Svrljigi cheese, and it's a really potent home cheese made from sheep milk. And I love cheese, and the cheese is really, really nice. A lot of these villages have a lot of homemade cheeses. You don't need a whole lot of this stuff to get a cheese flavor, man. You know, I made some pasta the other day with this stuff. Threw 2 huge chunks in, ate the pasta, and whoa, it'll knock you on your ass, you know. Anyway, you know, this is a really, really good meal here. I've got like 15 of these sarmas. I don't know if you can see them good. They're about 3 inches long, wrapped up meat, rice, onion, great sauce in them. This bacon that's like butter, this pastry thing, and some cheese. Drinking it with some water because it's been horrible out here. Very, very windy, you know. And there's the whole thing if you can see it. I don't know if you can see very good. My camera is going autofocus, not focus, autofocus. I don't know what it is. The setting doesn't work. But the weather's been terrible here in Serbia. We finally have some winter here, and we had a wind emergency here. The Serbian army was actually called out to rescue some people. And there was some really good pictures I posted on Facebook on the road from Zrenjanin to Stičevo. There was a lot of cars. There wasn't much snow, but just a little bit of snow. It drifted over, and the cars in Serbia are usually pretty small. So a lot of those cars were drifted under, and the people were stuck in there. And so the army had to come and rescue them. And there's a really good picture with this famous Serbian admiral or colonel or whatever. He's rescuing a little baby. And a lot of my Serbian friends were making fun. I'm not going to make fun of your politicians, but one of their politicians, Vučić, they showed a picture of him carrying this big kid that was like 12 years old. And a lot of my Serbian friends said it was just for political reasons because the election's coming up here in a couple months. But anyway, not my business. You either like Vučić or you don't. None of my business. I'm going to get back to some setsa. You people really listen to this. I don't know. Teach their own. That's it, my friends. Thank you. Do viđenja.